For months, fans have been scratching their heads, wondering why Nike, the biggest powerhouse in sports, has stayed so unusually quiet about its brightest up-and-coming star. The lack of action was impossible to ignore, and now, Nike has finally issued an apology to Caitlin Clark. But let's be real, this situation is about far more than a missing banner or a flashy promo slapped onto an arena wall. It runs much deeper than that.
Nike billboard honors the all-time NCAA Division I scoring leader.
Nike seems to be scrambling to recover lost ground, especially after reports that Adidas made a massive play to court Caitlin Clark. But the bigger question remains, was this apology genuine or just a knee-jerk move fueled by fear of losing their star to a competitor?
Absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world?
Let's take a step back. Caitlin Clark, the rising superstar of women's basketball, just had a season for the ages. She propelled her team to unprecedented success, shattered record after record, and captivated fans with her electrifying talent. She's not just a player, she's a true game changer. Her very first playoff appearance drew an astonishing 1.84 million viewers, making it the most watched WNBA playoff game in over 2 decades. You'd think Nike, having invested heavily in her, would be front and center celebrating this, but you'd be wrong.
And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any.
It's baffling when you think about it. Nike signed one of the brightest stars in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark, and then went completely silent for months. Contrast that with how they handled LeBron James back in his rookie year. Nike immediately dropped a signature shoe, plastered ads everywhere, and made sure his face dominated billboards nationwide. With Clark though, crickets. That silence didn't go unnoticed, and while Nike slept, Adidas saw an opening. They recognized what Nike had missed, the chance to make Clark the definitive face of women's basketball, just as Nike had done for LeBron in men's basketball. Adidas wasn't about to sit back and watch their competitor fumble a golden opportunity. Rumors soon surfaced that Adidas was ready to make a staggering $30 million offer to Clark. This wasn't purely about money, it was a signal. After months of ignoring her, Nike finally acted, erecting a massive banner at the Indiana Fever Arena. The gesture was impressive on the surface, but let's be honest, it wasn't just about celebrating Clark's accomplishments. Nike's move was also a defensive play, a clear attempt to prevent her from jumping ship. Their timing made it obvious. This was full-on damage control. For many fans, the apology felt reactive, not heartfelt. Nike had months to highlight Clark's record-breaking season and her meteoric rise, but they waited until a real threat from Adidas loomed before taking action. And when they finally did, Clark didn't just accept it quietly, she seized the moment, delivering a speech that turned heads. She spoke not only about her own journey, but about the growth of women's basketball as a whole. Packed arenas, rising viewership, and fans finally investing in the sport in a major way. Clark went further, emphasizing the importance of national TV exposure and the long-term impact it could have on women's basketball. She made it clear this isn't a fleeting trend. The sport is here to stay, and it needs platforms that reflect that reality. Her upcoming signature shoe was part of that vision. Fans had been waiting for months, and now that it's finally happening, it feels less like celebration and more like Nike scrambling to catch up. That shoe should have been out months ago, capitalizing on Clark's phenomenal season. Instead, Nike only realized her true value once Adidas made their move. Fans are left wondering, was the banner and signature shoe a genuine show of support, or just a calculated effort to save face? Nike has a well-documented history of prioritizing male athletes. Look at LeBron James or Kevin Durant. They received global campaigns from day one. Compare that to women like Serena Williams or Diana Taurasi, and the contrast is glaring. If Clark were a man, there's no doubt she'd have been celebrated from the moment she signed. Now, the pressure is on. Nike's sudden pivot shows concern, but was it too little? Too late? Will they step up and give Clark the promotion and attention she deserves? Or will Adidas swoop in and claim her as the face of women's sports? Adidas has made their intentions clear. They value female athletes and are willing to invest in them in ways Nike has historically avoided. If Nike hopes to retain Clark, a banner and a shoe aren't enough. They need a serious commitment. The clash between Nike and Adidas is far from over, and it's shaping the future of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a trailblazer trailblazer, influencing the sport on and off the court. Whether she stays with Nike or joins Adidas, one thing is undeniable. Clark is the future, and the brands that support her will have a lasting impact on women's sports. Nike's sudden change of heart may save their connection to Clark, but it's bigger than one athlete. This standoff could redefine how female athletes are marketed and valued. For too long, women's basketball hasn't received the attention it deserves. Male athletes have always been the priority, with women getting only a fraction of the spotlight. But with Caitlin Clark at the center, the tide is turning. Adidas didn't just see an opportunity, they recognized a movement. They understand that women's sports are rising like never before, with record viewership, growing fan engagement, and unprecedented interest. Clark isn't just a rising star, she's the face of a new era in basketball. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's the face of a movement. When Adidas reportedly offered her a $30 million deal, it wasn't just about sneakers. It was a strategic move to align themselves with the future of women's basketball and position their brand as one that genuinely invests in female athletes. For Nike, the stakes are even higher. They've long dominated the sportswear market, and losing Clark to Adidas would be a serious blow. Nike prides itself on being the brand of the world's top athletes. Letting Clark slip away would send a clear message that they aren't as committed to women's sports as they claim. This isn't just about one player. Caitlin Clark represents the future of women's basketball. She's consistently drawing massive crowds, electrifying the sport with her on-court performance, and inspiring young girls across the country to dream big. Companies that support her now will be remembered as leaders in pushing for gender equality in sports. This is a moment that could redefine sports marketing, and brands like Nike and Adidas are starting to realize it, but Nike hasn't exactly been flawless. Fans spent months wondering why the brand stayed silent as Clark shattered records and captured the spotlight. Many felt she was being taken for granted. For years, women's sports have been overlooked, with brands pouring far more resources into their male athletes. Adidas' $30 million offer shows they're serious. They see women's basketball as a valuable market and are ready to invest in it. Now Nike is rushing to catch up, realizing that Clark's value is too big to ignore. They're going above and beyond to retain her, but the question remains, is it too late? Has Adidas already won Clark's loyalty, or can Nike persuade her to stay? Clark herself is approaching this wisely. She isn't rushing into any decisions. Instead, she's using her platform to focus on the bigger picture, the future of women's basketball. At Nike's recent event, she emphasized that her mission isn't just personal success. She's advocating for more national TV exposure, greater fan engagement, and more investment in the sport as a whole. Her success is tied to the sport's success, and that's what makes her so influential. Then there's the signature shoe, something more than merchandise. For an athlete, it's a statement. You're a star, and the brand believes in you. For Clark, a signature shoe represents more than personal achievement. It symbolizes progress for women's basketball. When LeBron James got his first signature shoe, it was a game changer. Nike was saying he is the future. Now Clark is in a similar position. A signature shoe for her isn't just about boosting her profile. It would send a message that women's sports deserve the same investment and attention as men's. Timing, however, is crucial. Fans have waited months for news of Clark's shoe, while Nike hesitated. Meanwhile, Adidas has made it clear they're ready to go all in if she decides to switch. If they release a signature shoe before Nike, it would be a massive win for the brand and a wake-up call for Nike. The bigger picture is clear. Caitlin Clark is showing the world that women's sports are a major market with millions of fans ready to engage. Previously, female athletes were often ignored while male stars got the spotlight. Nike's apology and efforts now may be genuine, or they may simply be a reaction to Adidas' aggressive play. Either way, they're finally acknowledging that losing Clark isn't an option. For now, all eyes are on Clark and the decision she will make. Whether she stays with Nike or joins Adidas, one thing is certain: she is more than a basketball player. She is a force changing the game on and off the court. What do you think? Will Nike step up and give Clark the promotion she deserves, or will Adidas seize the moment and take her? Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on this story. The battle for Caitlin Clark and the future of women's basketball is just getting started.